Set it right here so it doesn't interfere with your camera, okay? You're filming this, and so are we. So we have two separate angles. You're good to go.
Relax.
Am I good?
You don't have an ID on you, so what's your... Let me get pen and paper here. You from Austin originally?
I'm not answering any questions.
When you're stopped by reasonable suspicion by peace officers in the state of Texas...
Can I have a sit here?
No, you can stand there for a second until we're finished. When you're stopped by police officers in the state of Texas for reasonable suspicion, you're required to give minimal identifying information, that being your name and your date of birth. So we'll start there.
Well, what pinnacle is that?
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm just asking.
If he doesn't want to do it, go ahead and put him in handcuffs, and we can do it until we find him on the system. That's the way it goes. Suspicious people, suspicious places, suspicious circumstances. The Code of Criminal Procedure gives us that authority. I've been doing this a lot longer than you've been doing that. So we can go one way or the other. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get in a debate with you. I know that this makes great fodder on YouTube. I know that it's wonderful to post your videos, and it seems like, oh my God, the sky's crashing down, Big Brother and all that. But we're simply trying to do our jobs. We're going to do that with or without your cooperation. So how we proceed from here is 100% up to you. How do you want to do it?
Am I doing anything wrong? It's just a question. It's just a question.
Welcome back to Confronting Tyranny. Today we're going to take a look at a channel called The Batosai. It's run by the one and only Philip Turner. Turner is responsible for the landmark case of Turner versus Driver, a 5th Circuit Court of Appeals decision setting precedents for the right to film the police in the course of their duties, as Turner was arrested in Fort Worth, Texas for simply filming the police station from a public sidewalk and refused to give up his ID. We'll take a look at that case here in a moment, but first let's take a look at this incident from Austin, Texas, which also spawned a lawsuit from before Turner vs. Driver was ruled on. Let's get into it.
Sir, how are you? I'm Officer Tripp. I'm with Austin Police. This is Officer Smith.
How's it going?
What's going on today?
Can you talk, or you just don't want to talk? The reason we're out on you is you caused kind of a scare up here, so we're trying to figure out what's going on. So you videotaping for a reason, or what's going on? You don't want to talk to us at all, or you just want to videotape? Videotaping us is fine. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. We don't have this happen every day, so.
Okay, let's go ahead and ID this gentleman.
Do you have an ID on you at all?
Texas Penal Code 3802 states that a citizen only has to identify to police if they've been lawfully arrested, lawfully detained, or are a witness to a crime. None of which apply here.
If you have an ID with you, that'd be fine. We'd love for you to give it to us so we can find out what's going on.
Hey, sir.
Am I doing anything illegal?
Yes, based on
What am I doing that's illegal?
But based on your suspicious activity, we're going to go ahead and ID you. If you have no warrants or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and wish you a good day, and we're going to be on our way.
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not under arrest, but you are being detained. There's no two ways about it.
All right, well, if I'm being detained, y'all can go ahead and do your investigation, but I'm just going to stay here and
That's fine.
exercise my Fifth Amendment right. Just stay here, and if I'm not doing anything wrong, then there's no reason for y'all to be
We're
here.
going to go ahead and ID you one way or the other. It's up to you. How
What do you
we
mean one way or
that.
the other?
Pardon me?
What do you mean one way or the other?
One way or the other. If we have to take you downtown and fingerprint you, we'll do that. You're being detained for investigative purposes right now. Believe me, I know the law better than you. So you can film all you want. You can set it up however you want. We're going to ID you. But until we do that, you're not free to go.
Texas is not a stop and ID state, is it?
Guys, go ahead and frisk this gentleman. Make sure that he doesn't have any weapons on him.
I have no
And
weapons,
then
and I do not consent to
Go ahead and
searches.
frisk him, like I said. Make sure he has no weapons on him.
I don't consent to
And
searches.
he can either provide us his information willingly, or we can do it through the ID section downtown.
You have any
Under
weapons on you at
what
all?
gives you the authority to do
Go
that?
ahead and get this done, guys. I'm not
Go
going to
ahead and
argue with
stand
this
up for
guy.
You're violating my Fourth Amendment. You know that, right?
Stand up.
You do
Stand up
what you
for
need
us.
to do, and we'll do what we need to do, buddy.
You have anything on you that we need to know about? Knives, guns,
I have,
weapons?
I have nothing. I'm just holding my hands up.
He
Just put your hands back behind you. You can put the camera down and film us while we're doing this if you want
We're
to.
not doing
Am I
this
under
like you-
arrest? That's
like
what
you
I'm
think
asking.
it's
You're
gonna
being detained, and during the detention, you can be frisked for safety.
If he won't put it down, handcuff him.
Here, I'll put my hands right here. Is that fine?
If he won't do it willingly, handcuff him.
Put your hands behind your back for us.
There we go.
back. Come back here.
There we go.
You're not being
I
handcuffed
know
right
you're
now.
used to
You're
this
just
going
being-
one way based on the YouTube education you've gotten, but that's not how we
Stretch
do
feet
it,
for me.
okay? We're going to do this according to our policy and according to law.
It's a public area, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
Cell phone.
Yep.
You have a wallet on you? An ID at all?
I'm not answering any more questions unless I'm being under arrest.
You're being detained, which means
Okay.
you.
If he has an ID, we have
You
every
don't have an
right
ID at all.
to we have every right to look at it. It's not an issue, guys.
Well, come on the back of you. There.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Set it right here so it doesn't interfere with your camera, okay? You're filming this, and so are we. So we have two separate angles. You're
All
good
right.
to go.
Relax.
Am I good?
You don't have an ID on you, so what's your? Let me get pen and paper here. You from Austin originally?
I'm not answering any questions.
When you're stopped by reasonable suspicion by peace officers in the state of
can I have a
Texas,
sit here?
No, you can stand there for a second until we're finished. When you're stopped by police officers in the state of Texas for reasonable suspicion, you're required to give minimal identifying information, that being your name and your date of birth.
The word he's leaving out here is crime. Reasonable suspicion of a crime, which they don't have here.
Identifying information, that being your name and your date of birth. So we'll start there.
Well, what penal code is that?
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm just asking.
If he doesn't want to do it, go ahead and put him in handcuffs, and we can do it until we find him on the system. That's
Right.
the way it goes. Suspicious people, suspicious places, suspicious circumstances. The Code of Criminal Procedure gives us that authority. I've
To
been
ID.
doing this a lot longer than you've been doing that. So we can go one way or the other. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get in a debate with you. I know
fine.
that this makes great fodder on YouTube. I know that it's wonderful to post your videos, and it seems like, oh my God, the sky's crashing down, Big Brother and all that. But we're simply trying to do our jobs. We're going to do that with or without your cooperation. So how we proceed from here is 100% up to you. How do you want to do it?
Am I doing anything wrong? It's just a question. It's
Look
just
him
a
up.
question.
Set that down.
Yeah.
I know this isn't going
Now
the way
you're
you thought
violating
it
my
was
First
gonna
Amendment
go.
right.
I
You're-
know
you're-
it's not the way you thought it was going
This
to go.
is not how it's supposed to go.
Okay, don't
You
fight
can
this.
either put the camera down or we'll take it from you. Now, you want me to make sure it's filming? I'll fix the screen so you can see. Does that work for you? I noticed you didn't want to talk or answer questions unless it was asking questions of us. I found that to be especially
Well,
interesting.
you're arresting me, right?
No, you're not under arrest. You're being detained.
Detained.
Investigatively detained.
wanna
If you'd like,
identify
I can
yourself.
explain the difference to you.
Texas not a stop in that D state.
Okay, thanks for telling me the law. Now let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to detain you until we have been able to properly identify you. If we're able to properly identify you and there's no warrants or any other reason to hold you, we'll cut you loose, as is our prerogative, as is held by the state of Texas law, the United States Constitution, and, by the way, Austin Police Department policy and procedures. Give us your name and date of birth, or you can continue to take this stand that you're taking, which will do you no good other than delaying your freedom to go. So tell me again, do you want to give us your name and date of birth, or do you want us to detain you further until we can specifically identify you and make sure that there is nothing more to this than what meets the eye?
Am I under arrest?
You are being detained.
Okay.
I've said it again. If you want me to get closer to the camera so I could say it into the speaker, I'll do that. However, I think it's been made clear to you that you're being detained for investigative purposes. You will not be released until we can positively identify you. Does that sound like it's clear now? Whether you agree with it or not, are you understanding what I'm saying to you?
You should be familiar with Penal Code 3802. You should be familiar with that.
I appreciate you telling me what I should and should not do.
Okay,
But here's
but
what
based on
we're
that,
going
then
to
I'm
do.
going to follow
Have him
that.
sit in the back of the car, and let's go ahead and figure out who he is. Once we do that, we'll go from there.
Step over here.
Here, take his camera. Make sure he keeps that with him.
Can I hold on to it or no?
No, we're going to go ahead and hold on to it. It's still filming.
This
Yeah,
car
and
is
you'll
filming.
be filmed in the car as well. You want me to film exactly this? Nope. No, we're going to keep you. We're going to put you in air-conditioned comfort. No, actually, you're actually dictating how we treat you at this point. If you would like to leave, just tell us your name, date of birth. We'll make sure that you don't have any wants or warrants. We'll make sure that there's no other suspicious activity we need to investigate, and you'll be free to go. If you want to play this out and make a statement, you can go ahead and do that. It's just going to delay you being able to leave freely. All right, there we go.
Freedom.
You take me down?
Figure out who he is. Did he have anything in his pockets that with any kind of identifying information on? Okay. Well, it's up to you. Yeah, I've got something over here in the shed.
You got, have you ever had an ID issue too?
Can I answer any questions, sir?
So how are you expecting this to play out? Tell me that.
I mean, until y'all arrest me until y'all find a crime to
So in
arrest
other
me
words,
for,
you're just trying to get us to arrest you for no reason. That's pretty much it, right?
that's pretty much what I'm in right now.
No, you're being detained. There's a difference between being detained and being under arrest. A detention usually yields an investigation.
But y'all can investigate. I'm just
And that's
using my
what we're
Fifth
trying to
Amendment
do,
right
but
to be
you're not-
quiet.
But you're not helping us out with this at all.
I have the right to use my Fifth Amendment right now.
Okay.
Y'all didn't state any crime that I broke, but I'm in handcuffs.
But you do understand the detention. What do you understand as a detention?
You guys are just holding me, but you got me in handcuffs.
No.
I was
Give me-
perfectly fine
if
right
you
there.
If you know everything that you're supposed to know about the law, give me the law on detention.
You can hold me for whatever purpose, but you have to suspect me of committing a crime.
No,
No?
no.
What's your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Smith. My badge number is 6981. The suspicion.
What's your badge number and name, sir? 6173. What's your name? I can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry? I can't hear you. What's your name, sir, and badge number?
Yes, sir. Trip
4.
And it's going to be on a report. So if you need to get a report number too, you can get all our names and numbers on a report number.
Didn't do anything wrong.
We're not trying to do anything to you that you're not trying to do to us.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Sir, listen. If somebody's walking around your house, even in your house, and you think they're suspicious because they're doing something suspicious, wouldn't that raise an eyebrow for you?
If they're on public property, it would.
No, don't even go there.
It is.
If
Was I not on public property?
If somebody's staring at your house,
Was I not on public property?
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
If somebody's staring at your house, you're going to call the PD to come and check on to see what that person's doing.
No.
The person sitting in front of your house staring through your window. Am I right?
No.
You're not.
I'll be armed, but in that case, if I were to call the police, you guys would probably be too late.
Really?
Yes.
Possibly. You probably walked off. But what if we weren't late? Suspicious persons, suspicious activities. Tell me about that law.
You can sit there and ask me questions all you want
Well,
to.
you're telling me you know the law from here and there. I'm just trying to figure out if you know exactly what's going on.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here until y'all finish what y'all doing.
Okay. You can go quick and easy right now if you just give a name and date of birth.
I got all the time in the
If
world.
not, we're going down to our main station, get your fingerprint and figure out who you are. Because of suspicious activity.
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Suspicious activity? Are you telling me?
That does not override the Fourth Amendment.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
How are you positive?
Positive.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't know you from anybody else that I'm standing around here with in this parking lot. And with the suspicious activity that you were doing, I don't know if you're trying to do something to the building or if you have some kind of a mental ailment that we need to address or get addressed or some kind of medical issue that needs to be addressed. So in order to figure that out, if you're not cooperating with us, we have to do our best. And like my sergeant also said, we have policy on this.
Why would I cooperate with someone who's treating me like a criminal? Even though I didn't do anything wrong. Why would I cooperate with someone who's treating me like a criminal, even though y'all told me I didn't do anything wrong?
You're being suspicious.
What's suspicious of?
You're videotaping an area of people.
So being in a Sonic parking lot is suspicious?
No, you were not in a Sonic parking lot the entire time.
This right here. Oh, okay, on the sidewalk in front of the station. That's considered suspicious.
If anybody calls in and says, hey, this is weird, we have to investigate.
From on the sidewalk?
Because it's not something that people normally do. That's what makes it suspicious. If a person driving by here says, huh, that looks suspicious, that's suspicious activity.
That's all right. Y'all just figure out what y'all have to do. I'll sit here and wait.
That's fine.
You want to go down and just do the fingerprint?
Sir, is there anything that we can say or do to have you assist us with our investigation?
I mean, if y'all fingerprint me, I'm suing you guys. There's no reason for this.
No.
Y'all didn't even tell me what crime I committed.
Is there anything that we can say or do to have you assist us with our investigation?
Fifth Amendment. mind loosening these up? These are kind of hurting my wrist right now.
They're on as by policy.
I understand that, but can you loosen them up? They're like really hurting my wrist.
They're on as by policy.
Can you loosen them up?
You can lean forward. They're not made for
I got
comfort at all.
the seat's reclining. I got a seatbelt holding me back, so I can't really lean forward.
Push yourself up.
But that's not helping.
Listen, those things are owned by policy. I put my finger in them just like I'm supposed to.
I understand that, but I'm asking you, can you loosen them? They're really tight.
Sir.
Ow.
I don't know your intentions. You haven't told me any of your intentions. You don't want to talk to us, so I don't know what your intentions are. So I'm not about to put myself in a safety situation by allowing you to get loose and handcuffs.
Well, you got a gun, taser, pepper
I
spray.
don't use my gun. I've
Well,
been doing this for way too long.
Well, can you get another officer to do it? Because these are really tight.
They're not tight. I put my fingers in them just like I was supposed to make sure you had enough room between your wrists. They're just in the position that you have your hands is making it worse.
Well, the back.
Take care of some business.
Hey, ask him what crime he's charged me with.
got anything? Okay, sir. All right. I just want to ask you one more time. Your name and your date of birth. Will you please give us that? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna document this entire stop in a report. It's also documented on our digital mobile audio video. I'm quite aware that you have it documented on your personal camera. We're going to write a report. We're happy to give you the case number. If you'd like to buy a copy of the report, it'll be available to you at any police facility or online for that matter. We're then going to release you from the scene. You're not going to cooperate with us. We're going to have to put you down on our report as unknown or John Doe, whatever you choose, whatever you prefer. And from there, you'll be cut loose. I would caution you, when you find yourself in a position where you're filming a government installation like a police station, you're filming people's plates, you're filming cars, you put yourself in a position where if somebody makes a complaint against you for doing that, it becomes a different situation. It can become a criminal offense if they feel like you're stealing any kind of identifying information. Us, you can take pictures of our police cars all day long and document on video and everything else, police, license plates and everything else, because those are a matter of public record. Now, you're absolutely 100% correct. You're not in violation of failure to ID laws. That was never the point. The point is the police have a reasonable right to stop you based on the Code of Criminal Procedure when we find you to be a suspicious person in a suspicious place under suspicious circumstances. In this case, we have two of those. It was suspicious seeing you outside filming our installation and the plates and the cars and the people coming in and out of the building. And that was a suspicious circumstance based on that. That's why you were stopped. That's why you were ID'd. We could not ID you. We placed you in handcuffs for officer safety, placed you in the car. We can never come to an agreement on getting your ID. So at this point, there's not much we can really do. We're going to have to part ways and go on with our lives. Again, you're more than welcome to any kind of documentation. You can discuss this with anybody else you would like to. If you want to complain for anything, that's certainly available to you. And there's plenty of documentation, so the record will stand as it is. Do you have any questions for me? No questions. Free? You will be free in just 1 minute after we take the handcuffs off. Fair enough? All right, very good. Thank you.
Second. So I'm putting the camera on.
Come on. Fix the windshield.
Here's your property.
Look at that.
Philip put in complaints and ultimately sued the city of Austin and the 4 tyrant dirtbags that illegally detained him.
I know you're used to this going one way based on the YouTube education you've gotten.
Here we'll take a look at the actual video that spawned Turner versus Driver. On September 1st, 2015, Turner was filming the Fort Worth police station from a public sidewalk when two officers approached and asked for identification. Turner refused to identify himself, citing Texas law does not require a person to identify unless lawfully arrested. The officers handcuffed him and put him in the back of a hot police car. This is commonly referred to as hotboxing, as they had the windows rolled up with no air conditioning going on a day that reached 96 degrees outside. Turner asked for him to call for his supervisor. That's when Lieutenant Driver shows up and eventually trespasses him from Fort Worth Police Station property. Let's check it out.
How's it going, man? You got your ID with you? You got any ID, sir? Sir, do you have any ID? Yes, no, maybe? Do you have any ID, sir?
Am I being detained?
For investigation. With everything that's going on in this world, and this, especially involving law enforcement, you're walking around law enforcement facility with a video camera. We like to know who's surrounding our complexes. Do you have any ID? Are you refusing to ID yourself, sir?
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Art Reynolds, ID 3825. Are you refusing to ID yourself, sir?
What's your name and badge number?
2586.
Thank you.
Are you refusing to ID yourself, sir?
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
For what crime?
I didn't say you committed a crime, but I have the legal right to detain you for further investigation, depending on the outcome of what's going on. You're walking around a law enforcement facility very suspiciously with a video camera. In light of what's going on, we have the right and authority to know who's walking around our facilities.
Wrong.
Are you refusing to ID yourself? Yes or no?
What happens if I don't ID myself?
No? Then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay. But you have to tell me what happens if I don't ID myself.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm not required to tell you that. Are you, yes or no? Are you refusing to ID yourself or not?
Once again, what crime have I committed?
I've already explained that to you. I don't need to explain it to you again. Are you or are you not going to identify yourself?
Are you familiar with Texas Penal Code 38.02?
Answer my question. I get to answer the questions here. It's my investigation, not yours. Answer my question. I get to answer the questions here. It's my investigation, not yours.
I'm not going to ID myself.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Wait, what are you
Camera
doing?
down. Let go. What are you doing? Put your hands behind your back. This is what happens when you refuse to ID yourself.
You're kidding, right?
Nope.
Just relax, man.
Just relax.
All we gotta do is ID you.
Can I get a supervisor out here?
Yep, absolutely. Give us a minute. West 112, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Are you by chance in the parking lot with somebody that's videotaping, officer?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. I'm detained at the time.
Are you by chance in the parking lot with somebody that's videotaping, officer?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Are you by chance in the parking lot with somebody that's videotaping, officer?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
I'm detained at the
detained
time.
at the time.
General. Any other traffic units have an auto ped 4800 South Hill?
West 112, can you start a supervisor?
I'm handcuffed. Why are you bending my wrist?
National Sector Supervisor.
Can you? I'm handcuffed. There's nothing
So what is?
to do.
Who are you? What is your
Quit
name?
bending my wrist, man. I'm handcuffed. I'm handcuffed, man. You're bending my wrist, dude. Can you let go of my wrist? Can you let go of my wrist? Well, quit bending things.
Is your strength?
Quit bending.
All I'm doing is holding your hands. I'm not bending it. Which way you want to go?
Just let your hand go, man.
Who are you?
None of your business.
Okay. So you're gonna.
Go down and get fingerprinted. Then we'll figure out who you are. You're playing this the hard way. Why you got to play it the hard way?
Do what I gotta do, man. Do what I gotta do.
All right, you made the choice, not us. We'll log this in as seized property. If you want to identify yourself.
Because taking pictures in public is not a crime, these officers don't know the law. As well as the Fourth Amendment also protects from unreasonable searches and seizures. In every state in America, the police need reasonable, articulable suspicion of an actual crime in order to demand someone's ID.
If I could just get one more photo, please, sir.
You refuse to identify yourself. I hope you're not accredited by Stella. So I was handcuffed, put in the back of a patrol car with the windows up for 5 minutes, sweating my butt off. Even though I was put in handcuffs, the officer said that I didn't do anything wrong and I fully cooperated. And now he's threatened me with criminal trespass if I ever step foot on the property. Look at that. This was the risk he was bending back. That shit hurts like hell.
Turner filed a civil rights lawsuit against the city of Fort Worth and the officers and lieutenant driver that arrested him. A judge later dismissed the cases against the officers, citing they were entitled to qualified immunity. Okay. As there were no cases yet establishing the right to film police. He was, however, allowed to go ahead with his claims against the city of Fort Worth, which ultimately ended in a $200,000 agreement, as well as the very much needed established case law that holds his namesake.
May it please the court, Luis Galindo appearing for Lieutenant Driver. When Lieutenant Driver arrived on the scene, he encountered Turner already handcuffed and sitting in the back of a patrol car. Lieutenant Driver concurs with the judgment of the district court and the argument made by Mr. East that the officer's detention of Turner did not violate any of Turner's clearly established constitutional rights, and two, that the officer's actions were at all times objectively reasonable, and that is why they're entitled to qualified immunity. With respect to Lieutenant Driver, the allegation, the complaint, states that after arriving on the scene, instead of immediately releasing Turner, Lieutenant Driver continued this unlawful detention. Lieutenant Driver does not believe that the officer's detention of Mr. Turner was unlawful, and for the arguments presented by Mr. Easton in our briefs. Notably, though, at page 16 of his reply brief, Turner now concedes that Lieutenant Driver's actions when he did not immediately release Turner, but instead conducted an investigation of the facts, were, quote, unquestionably reasonable actions of a supervisor. Although it is not contained anywhere in the complaint, at page 14 in his reply brief, Turner now apparently has abandoned his pleadings and would tell the court that his claim is that Lieutenant Driver, his actions took time to investigate, were unreasonable because he asked too many questions. He should have stopped and just released him instead of asking more questions, which is what he did, according to the complaint.
If we're just looking at the complaint, which again, Judge McBride, he entered a one-sentence ruling on all of this, right?
Yes, he did.
And cited no authority, Fourth or First Amendment.
That's correct.
So if we have to take the allegations as true, paragraphs 40 to 43 say that Lieutenant Driver came out and his talked to the colleagues. They delayed, seemingly ignored Mr. Turner, left him to sweat for a while. Finally, they rolled the window down. Turner was lying down on the seat, exhausted. Lieutenant Driver asked Turner if he had any ID on him. Turner said he did not have to ID himself because he hadn't been lawfully arrested. Do you agree with me that that is the law in Texas? You don't have to give an ID unless you've been lawfully arrested?
Well, perhaps, Your Honor. And let me just answer it this way, because I think as long as there is a reasonable suspicion, and I think that is Brown, and what the Supreme Court in Texas did in Brown, or what the Supreme Court did with Brown, was saying, look, you cannot arrest somebody just because he failed to provide identification, which was the Texas law. They struck that down. We understand that. But we've moved past that. And I think the cases that we cite in our brief talk about the fact that we've moved past that. The Supreme Court has moved past that in the analysis saying, if you have reasonable doubt, or you have reasonable suspicion.
And that's why Louisiana has a law that allows you to be arrested if during reasonable suspicion detention you don't. But Texas never changed its law.
But we did not. But
so the police
was not arrested, Your Honor. He was.
Well, so you agree with? I think. Do you agree with me that if he's got an arrest, there's a problem here? There's no probable cause if we construe this to be an arrest.
If it is an arrest, Your Honor, then there was no probable cause stated anywhere in the record.
That gets back to why, for your client, it's different, because if we would have to additionally say that the allegations show personal involvement, I was going to continue to read, Lieutenant Driver replied to Mr. Turner, "You're right." But then he leaves him in the back seat. He goes to talk to the others. That's a difficulty accepting the allegations from me. Once he says you're right, he knows and acquiesces in an ongoing detention.
This decision was a major win for Turner and set precedent for future cases. The court held that First Amendment principles controlling authority and persuasive precedent demonstrate that a First Amendment right to record the police does exist, subject to only reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. And there you have it. The Batosa is well known as one of the veterans in the auditing community and has many great audits under his belt that have affected change. With quite a few successful lawsuits and this case law in his name, it's kind of hard to deny he's one of the best auditors in the game. I'll leave links to all the original videos I used in the description. And if you like his content, I suggest you head on over to his channel and subscribe. You definitely won't be let down. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. This is only the second episode of this channel, with lots more great episodes to come. So if you could, please subscribe, like, share. It's much appreciated. Till the next one.